Hello, my peeps, and welcome to another power-packed Phillips podcast. Don't forget, the dates for the Algebra EOC have changed. We're getting very close. Just think how you'll be able to feel the moment when you get that great news in June that you passed the EOC and you don't have to take Algebra 1 again in high school. Woohoo! Alrighty, here are your MSAs for today. Please take a moment to read them. There will be no tutoring after school today. Alrighty, peeps, here we go. We are working on lesson 11.2, simplifying radical expressions. So, when someone comes up to you and says, dude, that's totally radical. Radical means like really, really different, almost different in a unique way. So, in math, we have something that's called a square root. And it kind of looks like our division with a little check mark here. Well, another word for that in math is a radical. So radical and square root, they are synonyms. All right, here we go. We are going to simplify the radical, the square root of 32. And just like this guy is chopping down a tree, you are going to chop this number down into little pieces. So, I would like to know what numbers can we multiply together to make 32? Well, we could do 4 times 8. Now, what numbers can I multiply together to make 4? To make 4, I can do 2 times 2. And since 2 times 2 makes 4, I'm going to cross out the 4 because I have 2 times 2. It's the same thing. How can we make 8? Well, we can make 8 by saying 4 times 2 or 2 times 4. I'm going to cross out the 8 because 4 times 2 is the same thing. And just like we did before, how can we make 4? We can make 4 by saying 2 times 2. Two times 2 is the same thing as 4, so I'm going to cross out that 4. Now, you say, Mr. Phillips, try breaking down 2. Well, the only way that you could break down 2 is to say 1 times 2. And notice 2 and 2 are the same number, so that's kind of like a dead end. So the question you might have is, how do I know when I can stop breaking them down? When can you stop chopping down the number? You stop chopping down the number when you come into a dead end, which means 1 times that number. Alright, so this is what I have so far. I am looking for pairs or matches. We could be looking for this kind of pair. Ooh, there's a nice pair that we have. A pair of geese. Or we could be looking for pairs of shoes that match. So this is what I mean when we say we are looking for pairs. I have a pair of 2s. I have a second pair of 2s. And this 2 right here, it does not have a pair. So when I'm done finding my pairs, or my matches, pairs go on the outside. Leftovers, I love leftovers. Leftovers go on the inside. Now, when we were doing factoring, we would put parentheses, and then we would put our leftovers in there. But notice, we're not doing factoring here, we're doing square roots or radicals. So instead of putting your parentheses for your leftovers, since we're using a radical or square root, why don't we use the radical or square root symbol instead of the parentheses? So what do I have left over? I have a 2 left over right here. Now, you say this looks a little weird. 2 square root of 2? 2 times 2, 2 plus 2, 2 minus 2. Get to the point. Okay, I am. Calm down. Since I was multiplying everything up here, I'm going to multiply right here, and I'm going to multiply my pairs on the outside, and 2 times 2 is going to give me 4. So we would say the answer to this problem is 4 square roots of 2. 4 square roots of 2 would be our answer. BRB. Here's how you can check your answer on the EOC. Take your handy dandy calculator and you type in 32 radical sine. You get 5.65 blah 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 blah. So we're just going to write down 5.65. Close enough. Now let's go back to our answer, which was 4 radical 2. So we're going to bring up our calculator again, and this time we're going to hit 2 radical sine, and since they're touching each other, we're going to multiply by 4. Oop, 5.65. That is so weird. Oh, sweet. Too bad the Cubs aren't that good. Now some of you are asking out there, Mr. Phillips, is that the only way to do the problem? No, young grasshopper, it's not. So let's do the same problem, but let's use different numbers to multiply or chop it down. So write the square root radical 32 on your paper again, and let's try it this way. Instead of doing 4 times 8, let's go 16 times 2. I'm thinking that I can break 16 down into 4 times 4. I'm thinking that I'm going to cross out the 16 because 4 times 4 is the same thing. I'm thinking that 2 is a dead end and I can stop. Now if you want to keep breaking down the 4 you can, but if not, check it out. You're looking for pairs or matches. Either that kind of pair, this kind of pair, that kind of pair. I see a match. I see that I have a match or a pair of 4s. I have 1 pair of 4s, so I'm going to write a 4. What's left over? I have a 2 left over. Remember, we're working with radical sine. What's left over goes inside. Your pair or your matches go outside. 4 square root of 2. Strangely enough, I do believe that's the answer we got before. So to answer your question, young grasshopper, yes, there is more than one way to do the problem. You do the problem the way that's easiest for you. Alright, you ready for a brain break? I am. Hopefully you're paying attention during this podcast, so when you get to the EOC, this doesn't happen to you. Troll. Don't let that happen to you next week. Alright, last example. Here we go. Let's do the square root radical of 96, and we are going to chop it down. Lots of different ways that you could multiply to make 96. Maybe you are going to do it a different way than me, but we should get the same answer. So I'm going to go this way. I'm going to say 12 times 8 gives me 96. And I'm going to ask myself, can I chop down 12? Yes, I can. I can chop down 12 to 4 times 3 or 6 times 2, your choice. I'm going to go with 4 and 3 because I'm feeling like a 4. Can we break down 3? No, you can't break down 3. That's just 1 times 3, so that is a dead end. Can we break down 4? Well, yeah, that would be 2 times 2. Now, I rewrote 12 as 4 times 3, so I'm going to cross that out. I rewrote 4 as 2 times 2, so I'm going to cross that out. Now, these are dead end, but let's go back up to the 8. How can I make 8? That would be 4 times 2. Ooh, 2's a dead end. But how can I make 4? 2 times 2. I think I'm just about done because 2's a dead end. We got lots of dead ends. Remember, we're looking for either this kind of pair, that kind of pair, this kind of pair. You're looking for matches. But you said, oh yeah, you're right, thank you. I should cross out 8 because that's 4 times 2. Yep, thank you. Need some more coffee. I'm going to cross out 4 because that's 2 times 2. All right, let's look for pairs or matches. I have a pair of 2's here. I have a pair of 2's here. So remember, your pairs go on the outside. Pairs go on the outside. So I have 1, 2 pairs of 2. So I have a 2 and a 2. Yep, thank you for reminding me. Since we've been doing multiplication, we're going to multiply those. Yep, you're right. Leftovers go on the inside. I love leftovers. But what's left over? A 3 and a 2. What's left over? A 3 and a 2. Yeah, of course. What do you think I am? A Cubs fan or something? That's not 32, it's 3 times 2. Okay, I can do this. Leftovers go inside, pairs go outside. Okay, easy pleasy. 2 times 2 gives me 4. 3 times 2 gives me 6. I'm going to do 4 square roots of 6. Well, let's grab our calculator and check it. I'm going to do 6 radical times 4 because they're touching each other. I get 9.79. Remember, we started with the square root of 96. 96, radical sign. Ooh, baby, 9.79. That's as hot as the Cubs were last night. Don't laugh. 6-2. They're in the win column, baby. Just because they're playing like one of the worst teams in the league doesn't mean you can't give them props. There's your answer. 4 square roots of 6. So remember, break the number down, chop it down as low as you can. Look for pairs. Your pairs go on the outside, leftovers go on the inside. See ya, wouldn't wanna be ya. Booyah!